5.
Great, thanks. Welcome back to Sednet Education, Thursday, February 24th. We're looking at a new version of S139. And we're going to ask Ledge Counsel, Ms. St. James, to bring it up on the screen, if you don't mind. We're having a little internet issue with our committee assistant.
It just came in, and I just
Oh, it did.
everyone as well.
Great.
What
We
would you
weren't
like me to
we
do?
weren't blaming you, Daphne. We know it's out of your hands. So
You
yeah,
want me to
Daphne.
pause?
Yeah, why don't you
Okay.
email it to everyone, Daphne, and that way we can take a look. It'd be easier than bringing it up on the screen. Yep, and there it is. Okay, so everybody in your inbox, you have a new version of S139. Okay. Ms. St. James, the floor is
Sure.
yours.
Thank you, Beth St. James, Office of Legislative Counsel. So on beginning on the bottom of page 3.
Okay. We don't have
in-
page numbers on this version.
Oh,
What did you just, you sent, it says page 1 of 1. So what section? Maybe do that way.
sure. It's section 3,
Okay,
line 11 is the start of section 3.
okay,
Implementation. So this is the session law around the transition.
everybody
I've-
there? Okay,
Okay, I've added at the bottom, line 19, a subsection.
we don't have numbers on
You
ours
don't have-
either.
Oh boy, okay. Something didn't work over the
No,
internet
it's okay,
there.
it's okay. You just direct us.
Yep, so subsection D, it starts
Yep.
a school may use.
Great,
So a school may use materials that feature school branding that does not comply with the policy after January 1, 2023. If the materials were purchased before January 1, 2023, and then subdivision 1 reads, the school selects new branding by May 1st, 2023 to take effect in the 2023-2024 school year. Except as provided otherwise by the subdivision, the school does not purchase or acquire any uniforms or materials that include the non-compliant school branding. However, a school using the non-compliant school branding may, until January 1st, 2024, purchase or acquire a number of uniforms equal to up to 20% of the total number of uniforms used by a group at that school, solely to replace damaged or lost uniforms. The school does not purchase, create, or acquire any yearbook, newspaper, program, or other similar material that includes or bears the non-compliant school branding. And the school does not purchase, construct, or acquire a marquee, sign, or other new or replacement fixture that includes or bears the non-compliant school branding. This language is largely taken from the Washington statute on school mascots. I've included, I started with the big picture. I think you could just as easily limit this and say, you know, I think it's a policy choice on whether you want to allow them to use the new school uniforms or buy new school uniforms. And you could collapse it all down into just, I think, materials or some term about not acquiring any new. But this kind of spells out every kind of category where you might find school branding. And again, is largely taken from what Washington has done. I did send this to Sue Siglowski, and she said the language looked good and she had no comments.
okay, committee questions. Just going to take a minute here. Senator Hooker, please.
I can't imagine this happening, but a school may use materials that, if the materials were purchased before January 1st, 2023. So if a school buys new uniforms, you know, between now and 2023, they can use the old mascot. Is that what that means?
Yes, and I guess the dates are for the committee to decide, but January 1, 2023 is when they school boards are required to adopt the new policy. So that's why I chose that date, but you could certainly make a different policy decision on limiting. I can see where you're going, someone trying to cheat the system.
Except that then they'd have to have it in place by, what time? I mean, they'd be getting rid of new uniforms if they did that.
It's really interesting, this bill. I was just, how we're all, okay, again, speaking for myself, it's just, and I think some of our witnesses, what's the hammer? We're really concerned. But I keep going back to Senator Chittenden's comments, I think we've got to trust people to do the right thing. And, but I've never really experienced a bill quite like this. Senator Lyons.
Yeah, I was thinking that this is pretty specific language, and maybe we can put some mention of this as part of the policy. It's too, for me, it's just too. We're trying to do something that's going to be literally impossible if you think about the concerns that Senator Hooker expressed. And maybe the policy should allow for some time for the school adopting the new branding to acquire and or replace their old items, whatever those items are, such as, and let it go at that. But would that satisfy Sue Siglowski and others?
Not sure I'm quite follow. Would you mind repeating that, Senator Lyons?
So there's the policy that's being built,
Yep.
right, by the Agency of Education.
Yep.
And maybe we could ask that within the policy, or maybe it's guidelines, that suggestion of guidelines for
Oh,
a timing for replacement. And
that's interesting.
yeah, because otherwise, yeah,
Not a bad idea there, Senator Lyons.
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
it
I see what you're saying. Say to the agency to come out with some guidelines on this instead of,
trying to pin it down in statute. I mean, we're talking about 20% of the total number of uniforms used by a group. I mean,
yep. No, I see what you're saying. I know. And I don't want you and I out counting uniforms. Senator Perschlick, what do you think?
Thanks. That we could do that. I was thinking of taking Mr. James' suggestive, just shrinking it down. And if we really have somebody have a problem in the future, or somebody trying to get around it by pre-buying or something, we can deal with it later. But just having D in 1, and just then not have 2, 3, and 4.
So A, B, C, D, and then number 1, and then
Not trying to do the specific thing, because I agree, the 20% and all that detail.
Yep. Agency of Education.
Because we can't legislate for every possible change. Like Ms. Simmons said too, is like there's going to be some, maybe the booster club will buy it, and then that'll get around it, and you'll try to do that. So,
how does that feel to everyone? Compromise?
I
think, I think you were right on track, Senator Lyons. Also, I mean, getting us to limit that. So let's do D and 1, and then we'll get rid of everything else. Okay. Anything else on this topic? Okay. Do you want to bring us a new draft to vote, either depending on how we do, we can do it today, or if people want to wait on it either way? But why don't we start with 283? So Do we have a, I think we have a clean draft on that, ready to vote. Is that accurate, Ms. St. James?
Yes, I sent Daphne either yesterday or today a fully
Okay.
edited version of.
That's the total
283.
edited version. Okay. So why don't we start there? S 283. It's miscellaneous education bill. And it is, am I accurate? That is draft number 3.1. 3.1. Okay. Do I see a motion to move this bill? Senator Chittenden moves draft number 3.1 of S 283, the miscellaneous education bill. Discussion. Comments? If not, I'm going to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Senator Chittenden,
What do you want me to say?
You know, good question. Anything but no.
Aye, yay, and yes.
All right.
Senator Hooker,
Yes.
Senator Lyons,
Yes,
Senator Persick votes we.
All right. There we go.
Senator Terenzini,
Aye.
There we go.
and Senator Campion, the chair.
Yes. Okay, 601. Anybody interested in presenting it?
Did you say 601?
I'm sorry, 600. Thank you. I apologize. 600. Senator Chittenden, okay? Okay.
I'm not looking for glory here, but if we want to spread the work around, I'm happy to just shoulder.
I mean, yeah, so I'm guessing I'm going to do, which is fine. I'm going to do church and state. Terenzini's going to want to do mascots.
Yeah.
If you want this, please, it's yours. I don't care.
And so we know where those two are going, and then we've got a couple other things. But yeah, if you're okay with doing this, that would be great. Okay, great. So I don't want to, I'd like a clean copy then of 283, I'm sorry, 139 before we vote on this. So why don't we, Daphne, can you get, is it possible for Jim and the team to come a little bit early? Can we get folks to come at 3:45 instead of 4 o'clock
Let me reach out to them. I will.
to 219?
Yeah, I'll reach out to them.
Great. So why don't we, and I apologize. Yes, Ms. St. James.
I'm sending Daphne a clean copy of 139 right now, if that makes a
Great.
difference.
I just want to give people a little time to review, take a look. Why don't we come back hopefully at 3:45? We can move that but ideally we'll start 219 and then give people even a little bit more time and vote on it right before we wrap up today.